Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to the 25 Days of Cricut Cheer. In this video, I'm going to be creating some cute little t-shirts with some glitter iron-on, and I think they're going to turn out really, really cute. So I'm making little pajama shirts or everyday shirts. That kind of depends on what my girls feel like, but we are going to be making two little shirts. They are just these long sleeve white shirts, and I got them from Target. They're Cat and Jack, and they're super, super nice. I went ahead and pre-washed them. I like to pre-wash all of my material before I place iron-on them, so they're nice and clean and dry, and I have two different sizes. I'm also going to be using some orange glitter iron-on, some black glitter iron-on, and also some pink glitter iron-on. They're all really, really pretty, and I can't wait to show you the design. So I have a weeding tool here, and then I also have my 9x9 EasyPress, and then we're going to be cutting everything on the Cricut Explore Air 2. For my designs, really quickly before we head into Design Space, to show you this cute little file, I'm going to make sure that I have everything all measured out so that I know how big or small to make my design for my shirts. So my shirts are pretty, one's 3T and one is 5T, so they are almost pretty similar, but they will probably end up being two different sizes. So let me just double check. I think I'm going to do about 6 inches for the first one, and then I will probably do 5.5 for my second, and that is just the width. So let's go ahead and hop into Design Space. I'm going to show you the file that we are going to be using, and we're going to get everything cut out and press on these shirts, and I think they're going to turn out really cute.
Okay, so this is the file that I'm going to be working with. I purchased this off of Design Bundles. It's so cute, and I thought these little snowman face t-shirts would be really sweet. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get everything all sized and ready to go, and I'm going to add a bow as well because my girls love bows, so they are going to want their little snow girl to have a bow as well. Really quickly before I do anything else, I want to show you the eye part of the file. So I'm going to really quickly grab all of the black pieces and I'm going to make them gray. And I'm going to do that so I can show you particularly the eyes. So really quickly, I want to show you that we need to weld the eyes together. The file is created to have the eyelashes look like this. And at first I was wondering why the creator would do that because it doesn't make much sense to me. But then I realized it's so that you can turn on and off the eyelashes in case you are wanting to create maybe a boy snowman and you didn't want the eyelashes. You can come over into your layers panel. You can find those little dashes that make up the eyelashes. You can either turn them on or off. However, if you do want to have them on, what you need to do is you need to weld them together because right now, if you just cut it like this, the Cricut's going to make a cut everywhere you see a line, and that's going to give you a really messy cut. So you need to go ahead and select the eyes and the eyelashes and come down here and say weld. And then you will see that they are going to make one nice smooth cut, and that is going to be much better. So I wanted to mention that just in case you didn't notice that, because when everything is turned black, it's really hard to notice that about your file. So I didn't want you to mess up and have that be different. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make those black again. The nose is going to be orange. I have a bow over here that I've hidden, but I'm going to go ahead and unhide it. This is the bow I'm going to be using. I went ahead and pre-found it because it takes me forever to find files that I like. I'm really picky, so I went ahead and found that, but what I want to do is I want to edit this. I'm going to contour it, so I'm going to come down to the contour button in the bottom right of the layers panel, click that on, and what I want to do is I just want to get rid of the ribbon part just because it doesn't work quite well for the design that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to take away the ribbons, and then I'm going to put mine, let me make this a little smaller, I'm going to put my little bow right up in the corner here. Okay, so let me just drag this to make this a little bigger, and I think that is perfect. Now if you'll notice, my pinks are two different colors of pink and I want them to cut out of the same pink. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to come over to Color Sync and I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to drag it down to the little cheeks. That way it's the same color. Okay, so now the last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I know how everything is going to cut. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to take my common pieces that I want to cut together and I'm going to weld them together. For some reason this file isn't letting me do any attaching, and I'm not sure if it's just that my computer is tired because I've been doing this for 25 days in a row, or if it's just something that's glitching in Design Space. But I'm going to go ahead and just weld them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cheeks and I'm going to weld those together. And then I'm going to take my eyelashes and I'm going to take my smile and I'm going to weld those two together. That way everything cuts together. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to size my design. So I'm going to take this, and my first design was going to be 6 inches. That makes it really, really small on the screen, but big in person. So that's about 6 inches. I'll make that bigger. And then for my second one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this entire file, bring this over here, and I'm going to size this down to about 5.5. And that's about right. Okay, so those look almost exactly the same, but it will make a little bit of a difference when your t-shirt size is a little bit smaller. All right, I already have my Explore Air 2 selected, so now what I can do is say Make It. So it's going to put my eyelashes and smiles on the black. Now, if you didn't want to waste any material in between here, you just wouldn't weld or attach your pieces together. But for me, it's just easier to have everything all together so that it's a little bit easier to place on the mat or on the actual shirt. So that's a choice you can make. For me, I just like to have it be a little simpler, and I'm willing to waste a little bit of iron-on doing so. I'm going to go ahead and mirror my mat because I'm working with iron-on, and then here are the little carrot noses. I'm going to go ahead and mirror those as well, and then my final mat, again, I will mirror that as well, and I'm going to actually move this down just a little bit just so I can make sure I have enough room to cut in between some of those pieces. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say continue. I am going to select glitter iron-on. I also like to go through all my mats and make sure that mirror is turned on, just to double check myself. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my first material, which will be black, then it will be orange, and then it will be pink. I'll go ahead and load my mats in that order and get everything cut out. To determine my heat settings for my EasyPress, I'm over on Expression Vinyl website because that is where I purchased my glitter iron-on. I'm going to go ahead and click on Machine Settings, and then I'm going to come down to Heat Transfer Settings Chart, or the Heat Settings Chart right here. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then I'm going to go ahead and locate the glitter, and it's going to tell me my temperature is 320. I'm going to press for 10 to 15 seconds, and it's going to be a warm peel and use firm pressure.
Okay, so I'm going ahead and placing my glitter HTV onto my mat here. And I like to use the green mat for the glitter just because it's a thicker material. But I also want to mention that it is the shiny side down. So you'll locate that shiny side, put that base down on the mat, and then we'll go ahead and load it into the machine and get cutting. Okay, so I have all my iron-on pieces here, and again with it shiny side face down, I'm going to go ahead and weed out all of my pieces. So weeding out is just taking away any part of the design that you do not want in your final design. So there are the little snowman noses, and then this should be my eyes and my mouth with my little eyelashes, which are so cute. I love that little element. Thought it was such a fun little detail. I love weeding out glitter iron-on. It's just so easy to do, so quick. And then I went ahead and edited my mat. You can click edit on your mat to just move your design around to just make sure that I cut in a different way. So this is, they're placed in a different way than you saw on the screen, and that's just because I edited my mat. So I wanted to mention that in case you caught that. They were all in different spots now. Okay, and that is it. So now, remember, my little designs are just a tad different in size. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to cut apart all of my little elements, but I'm going to stack them in the little piles where they're going to go. So this bow is a little bit bigger, so it'll go over here. Smaller will go over here. And then I will just make sure I pair up. EasyPress is ready. I'll pair up all of the little designs where they need to go. So some of them will be a little easier than others to see. Okay, so this one's just a little bit bigger. This will go here, a little bit smaller over here, and it's the carrot noses that I'm going to have to really check out here. Okay, so this is the smaller and the bigger. Okay, so now that I have everything organized, I'm going to remove my craft mat. I don't like using my heat press near it just because it tends to bubble and get too warm. So I like to remove that from my surface, and so we'll get everything ready to go and everything pressed. Okay, so I have my bigger of the two shirts ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my press and I'm just going to preheat my material for about 5 seconds and make sure that there is no moisture in the shirt, and also make sure it's nice and straight and ready to go for my design. So that is just about right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting my little pieces ready to go. So I'm going to start by layering everything on the shirt. That way I know exactly where I want everything to go. Now I'm not going to press them all at the same time, but I just want to make sure I know where everything needs to be located so that everything fits together. Actually, I think the snowman nose was supposed to go the other way, but I actually like it this way. So I am going to edit it and make it the direction I want it to go. Okay, so I think that all looks really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make sure with my measuring tape that I am in the middle and I have it centered. So that is just about shy of 4.5, and that is just about shy of 4.5. It's perfect. We're not going to move it. So now I'm going to take all of my elements except for the black, and I'm just going to remove those from my shirt. And then I'm going to press this layer first. So what I'm going to do is take my press, and then I am going to do 320 for 10 to 15 seconds with firm pressure. I like to do the longer of the two, so I'm going to do 15 seconds. Okay, and it's a warm peel, so I'm going to give it a second because there is a difference between a hot peel and a warm peel, and right now it's hot. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and remove my protective sheet from the top, and then I can go ahead and place down a couple more of my designs. So I'm going to go ahead and do the cheeks, and then I'm going to do the bow. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my heat protective mat, and this is just a Cricut protective mat, and what it does is it's going to protect the black layer because it's exposed. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over there so it protects that black layer from the heat source, and then I'm just going to repeat that step of 320 for 15 seconds with firm pressure. Okay, so we are all set. I'm going to go ahead and let that cool for 1 moment, and then we will add the little carrot nose. Okay, so peeling off those little sheets, and that's laying down perfectly. And then my last little element will just be this carrot nose, just like that. And again, my protective layer. You can also use parchment paper if you don't have this heat protective mat. And then I'll repeat the last step. Now once this step is done, I'm going to flip my entire shirt over and I'm going to press for an additional 15 seconds. That's not something that's on Expressions Final's website, but it's part of my Cricut workflow that I've done. So I just like to do that. So now I'll take this off, turn my entire shirt over, and press for 15 seconds. Okay, now that the back has been pressed, I'm going to go ahead and peel off that final layer, and that is my little shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and press really quickly my second shirt, and then we will be all done. Okay, here are the final shirts. I think they turned out so cute, and I love the little glittery element. I think that's just a fun little touch to them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was super easy. 3 colors of glitter iron-on. Very quick, very easy, especially when you have a design that's already done for you and you can just make a couple little adjustments. You can size it and get everything cut out. All right, everyone, please be sure to share this video to encourage others to come over to craft with us for 25 days in a row for Christmas. This has been so fun. I hope you guys have been enjoying it as well. And as always, be sure to let me know what you think and give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. video.